let's get started. But before that, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Wedermawan, and I am from DIK Ing E 2020. Here I'm going to present the topic. This is the topic based on the article, and it's gonna be our final test for public speaking course. We make the PPT based on an article entitled "The Teacher Taught in Online Verbal Learning Interaction Using the Flanders Interaction Category System Analysis," or FICSA. So let's move to the next slide. So here it is the background of the study. Students need to be stimulated by teacher in learning language, because the goal of learning language is the ability to communicate using the target language. It means students must be able to speak by using English. We, as a teacher, teach them to speak that language, to speak English. This study aims to investigate the types of teacher talk that are applied to students during online verbal interaction in class, and how the realization of teacher talk during online verbal interaction in class is based on FIACS. So this is the aim of the study. There are types of teacher talk, and we're gonna see if those types are applied to the students during online verbal interaction in the classroom. So let's move to the next slide. So there are three theories about classroom interaction. The first one comes from Noni, the second one comes from Thapa and Lin, and the third one comes from Naimat. Noni states that through interaction, students will be able to increase their language skills and level, as interaction provide a lot of input and output through listening and speaking, and encourage students more in using the language, and provides students acquisition with the language. According to Thapa and Lin, classroom interaction becomes the central factor, which then will be able to enhance students' linguistic strokes and also increase their communication skills. And according to Naimat, communication skills could be acquired through speaking activities. So it means the activities that include speaking, like debating, communicating with others, and etc. So these are three theories about classroom interaction. So these are types of classroom interaction. The first one is teacher-learner interaction. The second one is learner-learner interaction. And the third one, teacher-whole classroom interaction. So it means there are interaction. In the first one, the teacher-learner interaction, it means there are interaction between teacher and learner or student. For example, a teacher asks question to student. So it means there is teacher-learner interaction when teacher giving a question to students. So this is for the types number one, and types number two, learner-learner interaction. It means it means the interaction between learner and learner, between their friends, or between student and student. And the last one is teacher with whole classroom. It means teachers speak to or communicate with whole students in the classroom. And next slide. We're going to talk about online classroom. With the growth of online education, teaching in the online classroom has evolved as well. The concept of online learning is used to only describe learning through internet technology. Yeah. Learning, online learning can be held by using, for example, Zoom. Yeah, teacher teaches using Zoom, Google Meet, or Sibda to teach student. Online classroom means it's the class holding through internet. Teacher and student do not come to school. They are not learning face to face, but they are learning in online. by using internet. I bet you guys have already know about online classroom, because since 2020 until 2022, we have been learning through online, yeah, because of the pandemic of COVID-19. And the next slide is about teacher talk. So what is teacher talk? As described by Sinclair, as cited in Yanfen and Yukin 2010 page 77, teacher talk is the language used most frequently in classroom interactions, such as giving instructions, describing events, and testing students' comprehension. These are types of teacher talk. Types of teacher's talk, according to Flanders, that occur in the classroom are simply categorized into two subcategories. The first category is indirect influence, and the second category is direct influence. So what are them? In indirect influence, type number 1 is accepting feeling. Types number 2 is praising or encouraging. Types number 3 is accepting or using ideas of students. And types number 1 is asking questions. In direct influence, types number 1 is lecturing. Type number 1 and type number 2 is giving the directions. And type number 3 is criticizing or justifying authority. So in indirect influence, the type number 1, accept feeling, means accept and clarify the tone of the students in an unthreatening manner. Feelings may be positive or negative. Predicting or recalling feelings are included. In praising or encouraging, it means teacher praises or encourages students' action or behavior. The types number 3, accepting or using ideas of students. It means the teacher clarifies, builds, or develops ideas suggested by a student. And the types number 4, asking question. It means the teacher asks students questions, and then students will answer that question or those questions. And type number 1, in indirect influence, in lecturing, it means teacher lectures. Teacher teaches student about the topic that they are going to discuss in that day. And then giving the directions. Direction means directions, command, or orders which students are expected to comply with. And the last one is criticizing or justifying authority. It means statements intended to change student behavior from unacceptable to acceptable pattern, bowling someone out, stating why the teacher is doing what they're doing. So this explanation is about types of teacher talk in the classroom. Okay, let's move to the next slide. So in this slide, we can find the limitations of Flanders interaction analysis and the advantage of Flanders interaction analysis. Limitations of Flanders interaction analysis. It should be known that this system does not describe the overall amount of classroom activity. The section on teaching that have been mentioned are often viewed as a teacher's teaching assessment. And then advantage of Flanders interaction analysis. The analysis of FIACS is so dependable that even a person that is not present when the observation was done could make precise inferences about verbal communication and get the idea of the classroom interaction without having to see it with their own eyes. So this is the advantage These are the advantages of FIACS. And last is conclusion about this presentation. Based on the articles we discussed, based on the article that we made into PPT, it appears that the most dominant category is giving the direction of direct influence with 63 talks, 22.99%. And the least dominant category comes from the indirect influence received or uses ideas from students with 35 talks. It means there are 12.77%. 6 out of 7 categories of teacher talk itself could be found from online verbal interactions, other than the last category of the direct influence that criticizes or justifies authority not exercised by teacher at all during classroom interaction. That's all my presentation about the topic. I hope you guys get something to learn today, and I apologize for my mistake if there are any mistake, and I will say thank you for your attention. That's all. See you guys.